welcome to another tutorial from Taff Rocks HQ. In today's tutorial we're going to be looking at what on earth I could do with this rock. It's got a big huge chunk missing off it. But before I do, please help us grow by subscribing and then smashing that little notification bell. Brilliant. As I mentioned earlier, it's got a big chunk missing off it, and sometimes you'd think about throwing these away, but I'm not going to throw it away. There's quite a few of these type of rocks around, and they work best with chunks missing. Now, I've never painted one of this design before. This is a first for me, and it is, you know those little chocolate beans that you can get? They've usually got a letter on the front. They come in bags. I'm going to paint kind of one of those, but I'm old school, and I like the smart ones from my childhood, the ones that used to come in a tube. So what I'm going to do with this first is I'm going to give it a bit of an undercoat. Now this undercoat is going to serve a dual purpose. It's going to fill in some of the big holes that's on it, and it's going to help with my colour, because it's a bright colour that I'm going to be using, and I need a bright rock to put it on, or a bright base. I'm also going to paint the rough part here. Oops, that was a bit much. I'm going to paint this bit, and go all the way around and paint these other bits. I'm going to finish this off. If it needs a second coat, I'll do that, and then I'll be back when it's dried. So my absolute favourite colour of these chocolate beans was the orange one, and this is the colour that I'm going to paint this rock. I'm not going to use a palette. I'm just going to take it straight out of my lid, because I don't need a lot. This is definitely going to need more than one coat, because this is a very thin paint. As you can see already, the colours coming through. But out of this packet, or this tube rather, I'd go as far as to say the orange one was the only one that had any flavour. And when I was little, there was this young man who had a bit of a crush on me, goodness knows why. But anyway, to try and ask me to the disco that we used to have in our local village, that's how long ago it was, he bought me a tube of these chocolate beans. But he didn't just get me any old tube. What he did was, he bought copious amounts of these tubes of these chocolate beans, and took all the colours out, and saved the orange ones, and put them all in one tube for me. So I had a whole tube of my favourite orange smart chocolate beans. So as I mentioned, this is definitely going to need more than one coat, and I'll be back when this dries and it's had another coat. I'll see you in a second. So this took a little bit longer than I anticipated, but this is day 2. I left it dry overnight. I've painted it all in my favourite colour, smart chocolate bean. But what I haven't done is painted the broken bit. This bit I'm going to paint brown. I've got a brown here, but it's just too dark for me, so I'm going to add a little bit of white in, and then paint this white part here. Okay, so I think I've got the right colour, and I'm going to paint outward. If I see any white bits that I've left right on the very edge, I'm not going to worry too much about this, because we're actually going to be painting some white around the edges later. Okay, I think I've got it. And now just wait for this to dry. So our little smart dude is dry. I'm just going to go over the outline of the features that I'm going to put on his face. You can have a look online for as many different faces as you like. These are the ones that I like. You might not like this one. So I'm going to start going over the line that I put his nose on. You guys don't even have to have a nose on yours. He's got some lines coming out on the side here. Oopsie. With his eyes. Eyebrows. A huge screamy mouth. Okay. So what I'm needing to do now is put whites in his eyes and colour the black in on his mouth. Doesn't look much right now, but when he's dry I'm going to go around, touch up a few areas. I think I've done this mouth a little bit too big for my liking, so I might add some teeth in there. I'm not sure. And then when I come back next time, I'm going to go around all these black areas here. I'm going to add some eyeballs, and I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to have him pointing to his broken bit. And then we'll sort out the broken bit and he'll be done. So here he is, all nice and dry. I did not like the mouth at all, and I still don't like the mouth. But he has this one and he's keeping it. I've gone over the lines to make them all nice and smart. I'm now going to do the eyes. Now for this one, because it's this bit that's broken, I'm going to do his eyeballs so he's looking at this bit. Nice big eyeballs. Once again, I'm going to wait for him to dry, and then I'm going to put some highlights on his eyeballs, and then we're going to deal with this little bit by here. See you in a second. So there he is. I'm going to put little highlights here and here. And now what I'm going to do is around the very edges, I'm going to go around it with white. Anything that I've done in paint pen, you can do with a paint brush as well. Just make sure you use a fine tip brush. So going around here now doesn't have to be perfect, because don't forget this is the broken part, and what it's showing is the candy shell between the chocolate and the outside colour. And here he is, all done. Looking absolutely petrified because there's a piece missing. I'm not happy with this mouth myself, but I'd never painted one of these before and I really had to try. Normally, my rocks are much happier. But this poor dab, he's utterly petrified because there's a big chunk missing. When you search Google or Pinterest for inspiration for these, you'll find so many. I mean, haven't got a clue. Hundreds, thousands. And I encourage you to go and have a look. You can do whichever colour you like. I mean, If you don't want to do a brand name or a smart brand name of Chocolate Bean, you don't have to, because he's certainly not. But for anybody that's watching, please make a note that if you know which brand this is meant to be, this is my favourite colour. Okay, I'm just, just throwing it out there. You never know, I might get some. I hope you've enjoyed this video, guys. I certainly have. It was something I'd never tried before and was certainly something that I wanted to. If you have enjoyed it, please don't forget to like and share this with your friends. If you want to support the channel, please do so with Patreon, Ko-fi, Amazon wishlist, whichever you like. And that's it from me for this week. I will see you next week. Not sure what I've got for you next week, but until then, guys, keep on rocking.
Okay, people, goodbye. I hope you enjoyed this video. Leave a like if you love it or not.